My name is Arthur, and my topic was hydrogen. So when you think of hydrogen, you think of like spaceships and stuff. So of course, I had to make that my theme. So we'll be going through some background information, the process of acquiring and consuming hydrogen, some pros and cons, and also implementing it into our society. So some issues we face currently arise from the burning of polluting fuels. So that includes, global warming, greenhouse gases, and also the depletion of these resources because we'll run out of them as time goes on. Hydrogen itself is colorless, odorless, it's highly flammable. When you combust it, it releases only two gaseous water molecules, which of course is very clean. So as a solution, hydrogen seems very promising, especially in this combustion. It can also be used in fuel cells, which are like batteries. We'll talk about that later. And if you acquire it and consume it in like the perfect way, there's a lack of carbon throughout the entire reaction. So acquiring hydrogen, there's two main ways currently. There's electrohydrolysis and there's steam methane reforming. So both of them are endothermic, obviously, and both of them are powered by external power sources. So the main difference between the two is that electrohydrolysis is a lot cleaner because all you're doing is splitting up two water molecules, and that in itself is like you don't have anything else in that reaction. Steam methane reforming, however, you have to have methane, like steam methane reforming, and that releases carbon dioxide as one of the products at the end. So of course, steam methane reforming isn't 100% clean. Electrohydrolysis is. However, both of them need external power sources and that can come from natural gas, petroleum, coal. But electrohydrolysis has much more possibility of being powered by hydropower, wind, and solar because these plants can be built next to these renewable resource plants, unlike steam methane reforming plants. So consuming hydrogen, it's consumed in two ways. There's combustion and there's fuel cells. Combustion, okay, well, first of all, they're both exothermic. With combustion, you just light it up like gasoline. With fuel cells, it's like reverse of electrohydrolysis. So you basically just put in the hydrogen, put in oxygen, and create a water molecule and energy that comes out with it. So combustion is just like gasoline. Fuel cell is just like batteries, so they can be used in like cars and stuff. They can both be used in cars, but like fuel cells can be used in more portable machines. So some pros with hydrogen is that it's highly efficient. So one big pro is that it's very light compared to other sources of energy. So to create one GGE, hydrogen weighs a lot less than its competitors. It's impactful as in one big thing is that there's nearly infinite source of hydrogen because we have so much water. If we have a streamlined electrohydrolysis society, it's very environmentally friendly if we get to that point where everything is hydrogen power because we won't have carbon compounds at all if we only have electrohydrolysis. So some cons obviously is extremely expensive. Like we don't have the ability to get to this point yet because currently, for example, hydrogen is $16 per gallon compared to $3 per gallon of gasoline, and that's not even the same amount of power. So it's extremely expensive in the entire process, and lack of demand for hydrogen creates lack of creation of hydrogen. So it's like a vicious cycle that will never start if no one invests a ton of money into it. So long-term change, it requires so much work, and there's not quick financial return. That's the issue right now. So other issues with hydrogen, it's a very small molecule, so we have to have like very we have to have new technology to be able to contain all this hydrogen because it leaks a lot. So implementing it, according to the International Energy Agency, four big issues with implementing hydrogen is slow infrastructure development. There's no demand, which means there's high price, and the demand is dependent on the price. So like widespread adoption is held back by no adoption currently. Regulations currently don't create demand. You don't like give tax cuts to companies that make hydrogen plants because they don't gain anything from that because there's no tax cuts. So it's costly because like current methods are very inefficient, so it's like not worth it for anyone right now. So current production also, it's primarily supplied by natural gas and coal, and we have to stop this. We have to make it with electrohydrolysis. So because this is like currently environmentally damaging, because if we make hydrogen with natural gas and coal, then there's no point in making all the hydrogen. So scaling up usage according to the IEA, there's like 7 main things. You have to increase research and development. You have to give hydrogen a niche in society. You have to create demand. You have to basically give people risk management like strategies. You have to give them guarantees. You have to give them loans for private investors, and you have to adjust regulations so that everything is just like more efficient. You have to have international cooperation because this entire world has to be in on this like electrohydrolysis thing. And some near-term steps that we can take are shifting current production, like shifting current facilities into hydrogen production facilities, and creating higher demand with hydrogen by launching more hydrogen vehicles and increasing competition. We can also use existing infrastructure like the major natural gas pipelines. Like only 5%, a mere 5% conversion of the purpose of these pipelines would increase demand and decrease costs by a lot. And also we have to increase international shipping. So the growth of liquefied natural gas was through the means of shipping. And like if we, are able to increase hydrogen's presence all around the world, then there will be more demand for hydrogen. So of course, basically the picture that I want to paint is that the ideal solution, the ideal situation is, first of all, you start out with like a renewable power source, such as hydropower. We start with that and use that to power electrohydrolysis plant. So you have this big plant built next to like a dam, and then now you have an immense amount of hydrogen being produced. And also this has to be like the same for everywhere around the world, right? Like everywhere has to have like this renewable production of hydrogen. Then the entire world can have hydrogen powered everything, so you won't have the need for all of these like polluting fuels. But obviously that's extremely far-fetched and also practically like impossible, because that takes so much money. I don't even think there's enough money in the world to like convert everything into hydrogen right now. So this is like a very up in the air situation. It's like not possible yet. So it's just like a possibility for the far future. So in conclusion, hydrogen power has huge potential. It's much more environmentally friendly. It's expensive and is not as efficient as it could be, and it needs so much funding. So of course, it relates to energy resources and consumption, atmospheric pollution, and global change, i.e. climate change in APES. That's it. Thank you.